Good evening, good evening, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article that's in there written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center does not want you to read that article so much. They've threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so please read that article and share it on all your social media. Also linked in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured, abused. If you got young children present, folks, please go ahead and utilize those headphones. All right. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. All right. Okay, where we left off, costs and benefits. Under this rule, we are banning ESDs for SIB or AB. Because we lack sufficient information to quantify the benefits, we include a qualitative description of some potential benefits of the final rule. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, FDA. This is the problem. This is what they're talking about. And this is why those Republican judges were taking and running with the freaking tailoring. Because that's what this sounds like. Because they did not have the balls to name and shame the GED. Because they did not call out that device specifically and are using these very vague terms that we are seeing right here. This is how we've ended up in this situation. You tried to play it safe and you got egg in your face, didn't you? Because with people like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, let me put it bluntly for you. You can't play safe because they will take something like this and run with it. And you know what? They have enough power, enough influence, and enough backing to win because they've done it over and over and over again. Okay? We expect that the rule will only affect one entity. In addition to the incremental costs this entity will incur to comply with the requirements of the final rule, the ban may create potential transfer payments between 14 and 15 million annually. Either within the affected entity or between entities. See, that's your problem. You didn't think this through. You covered your ass to the point that you didn't actually cover your ass at all. You said, well, we think this will only apply to the device in question without naming the device in question. What's the problem is that the SIBIS has been used in the past to do the things that you're talking about right there. Okay? And some doctors do still use the SIBS machines to do that same type of work. You were trying to indirectly target the GED. There's a problem. There's a lot of problem, and you're staring it in the face right now. Okay? You can't indirectly target the GED and expect it to go through and stay through. You got to go in. Okay? Granted, I know not everybody's me and not everybody wants to go in, but you know what? Sometimes you need a bitch like me to get in there. All right? You may not be that dude, but you know what you know? If you're not, you go find them. You know? Because this has screwed all of us over. Jesus. The present value of total cost over 10 years ranges from 0 million to 44 billion, with a primary estimate of 22 million at a 3% discount rate, and ranges 0 million to 38 million, with a primary estimate of 18.8 million at a 7% discount rate. Okay, let me state this in as clear a way as humanly possible. I don't care. Okay? You lost your balls somewhere along the way during all the hearings. I don't know who it was that got to you, but I hope that bastard has a seat with his name on it in hell. But here's all the acronyms. We all know them ad nauseum at this point. This is going to be a relatively quick video because we're going to wrap it up, folks. You didn't name the device. You described the device. You described what the device is being used for. You even indicate that you only think one device is going to be affected. But the problem is, no, it wasn't. Okay? And that's what screwed you in the end. Had you had the balls to stare down the JRC and actually use the full authority of your office as a federal agency and targeted the GED specifically instead of using all this vague language to protect yourself from God knows what they threatened. They're the JRC, and quite frankly, from what I know of them, they're not above any kind of threats. This is how we end up in situations like this. We're going to close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit those comments. I do appreciate your time tonight. As always, folks, we here at Smelling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you again in a minute.